Hello, so this is tutorial 2 in this little series. Sorry about the last one, I did a recording using full screen, so it may be a bit unclear, the actual picture of the recording. This one I'm only recording half the screen, so it should be a bit better. So, what I thought I would do for this one is show how to set up a bit of basic file sharing. So, you might be familiar with this, like in an office or a school or home environment. You can go to start your computer and it will have like down here it may have network drives, which basically a network drive is it's a link to a folder on another computer basically. And in Windows that's very easy. Like if you wanted to, you could just grab a folder, you click properties, you click sharing, and you can share it. But with Linux, the same thing is possible, and it's actually very powerful. Sometimes it can be a lot faster, the actual file sharing and stuff. So the way to set it up is we're going to use a package called Samba, or Samba, however you want to say it, which we have to install. So aptitude install Samba. That's it. 3 words. And it will just do the usual thing that it does, where it finds out what's going to be downloaded and then asks you to confirm it, and then it's going to download it from the repository. I'll pause it while the download is taking place. Now about halfway through this install, it's going to come up with this box here, which asks you to set the workgroup or domain name. Now if you were using a Windows server type domain system, which we're not by the way, then you would probably want to choose the one you're going to use for that. But anyway, as you can see here, this is the workgroup that your Windows computer is part of. In my case it's just workgroup, and all it does is it groups like shared printers, shared files and stuff all in one place. When you go on to if you go onto network down here, it groups all the resources in one place. So I just use the standard workgroup. You can have it whatever you want. You can create your own one if you want. So I just press tab and press enter to select OK, and then it installs it. Now the install finished and I typed in clear and then pressed enter. And now when we go to computer here and network, we see a new machine. It's called Debian. If you double click that, you're going to be asked for a username and password. So we're not going to do anything on there yet, because we don't actually have any shares set up yet. Now on this box we have several accounts. So if we type in cd/home and then we do ls-l, it's going to show us all the home directories on this thing. And here they are. So we have an account for Matthew, which is me, and what we're going to do is type in smb passwd /a, or I say -a, it's not actually / what I'm on about, and then type in my name. And then I'm just going to enter, damn, I can't actually remember what my password was. It doesn't actually matter, because the password you use for file sharing on Linux and the password you use to log into the Linux machine can be different. They are stored in separate databases. And I'm also going to do it for the root user as well. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a file sharing account for both of them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing this folder here. So it's the home directory for me, for Matthew, and I'm going to type in nano etc samba /smb.conf. Now this is the configuration file. Yep, on Linux you configure things using files rather than tick boxes and nice text boxes and stuff. So you can see the workgroup that we're on, and none of this matters right now, because I'm just setting up basic. We're going to scroll right down, and here now it already has a home directory share set up. So basically on your Windows machine if you happen to go into computer and you go into network and you log on as a user on this machine, it will automatically take you to your home directory, which is very useful. Now that's already set up, and it says on here read only equals yes. I don't want it to be read only because I want to be able to change my home directory if I log into it from a Windows machine. The create mask is going to be 700, the directory mask. These are basically the permissions that new files and folders are given when you create them, like from a Windows machine. That's for files, and this is for folders. We won't get into permissions right now, it's a bit tricky for this tutorial. Everything else is fine how it is. Everything else is absolutely fine. If you wanted to share a different folder, you would basically create a folder and then you would enter it into here. But this is just for sharing home directories. Okay, so now that's done. If I go into Start, Computer, and I click on the Debian machine right down here, and it will ask me to log on. So I just type in Matthew as the username, and then the password that I just set up as the password. As you can see, this here is my home directory. It's got all my home folders in it. If I want, I can create a new folder, and I can go in, and I can create a Microsoft Word document if I want. Just open it up. And as you can see, save it, close it. Okay, and there you go. Now, this next bit of the tutorial is for how you would map the drive. So, what you would do is you would go to Start Computer and click this button, Map Network Drive. Choose a letter for the drive. I'm going to do it Z, or I'm going to do it H because it's a home directory, so I change it to H. If H is even available, I don't know if it is. Nah, I'll just leave it. Okay, / Debian. By the way, this kind of way that I'm typing this is basically, it's called a universal network something or other, and it's just the way you type like a network location. And as it says down here, / server, then / the share name was Matthew, and I'm going to click connect using different credentials, because obviously if I'm not logged in as Matthew, that share there isn't even going to exist, because it depends on the user that's logged in. So, and then it says what credentials do you want to use. So type them in, and that will now be permanently stored. So right, we'll close everything down. Start Computer, and there you go. Network drive, just like you have at work, at school, at college, and that's where everything is stored. And it's actually on a different computer, so it's very useful if you want to keep all your important files on another computer. Now obviously the problem is that because the computer might be like in another room and you might be connecting to it via Wi-Fi, copy speeds can be slow depending on how close you are to the router or to the hub, or however you're connecting. If you're plugged directly into the router or into a switch, it's going to be quite quick. But if you're using a Wi-Fi connection, it might be a bit slower. But it will still be absolutely fine if you're just storing documents, pictures, maybe a couple of videos. It's just when you copy over big things, it will take quite a bit longer than if you were copying it, say, to your hard drive. So that's the only warning, but there you go. That is how you do a basic network share. And when you're done with it, just disconnect. And there you go. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos soon as.